You've just stepped into the only place where Hornets sting, Panthers growl, and 49ers try not to blow a fourth quarter lead. Welcome to the Buzz&Roar show, hosted by a guy who loves sports named Ethan. We're talking Queen City sports with just the right amount of bias and way too much caffeine. Let's get it going.
Welcome to the Buzz and Roar. You're wondering why I have this hype music, most likely that I just turned off. Let me just do that. Yes, that was my YouTube studio. I don't think there's anything that you can get from that. Yeah, but so welcome to the Buzz and Roar show. If you are on, If you are on Spotify, then subscribe to my YouTube channel called capital E, Ethan, capital T, the capital B broadcaster. And if you're on YouTube, follow me on Spotify, linked in the channel bio or description of this video. Before we start, if you're new here, I have a fun game I do before the podcast starts. Here's how it works. One game for the viewers on a phone call every single episode, or if there's no viewers on call, a short game for myself to play if no viewers are here. Sports related every single time. So yeah, I actually don't have a viewer with me today. However, I need more than just that one who did it last week. The Chicken David James guy. I need more than just that one guy. So, if you would like to be a part of this short and fun game to get us started every day, email me at all lowercase, every letter is lowercase, Ethan, the broadcaster, no spaces, all lowercase, at gmail.com. I'll say it again. No spaces, all lowercase, Ethan, the broadcaster, at gmail.com, or click the email page in my YouTube channel's main description. Anyways, let's go ahead and start off the fun game now that I am actually oddly excited about, because, yes, that was my notes, whatever. I get to rank the 4 mascots. Isn't that just awesome? So, of course, I do the Charlotte 49ers. That is this guy right here. I do the, hold on, let it spin. If you're listening to it, you can't see it, but it's spinning. I just want it to be upright. And I'm also kind of like just stalling because I want this to be a little bit longer. Sir Purr. There he is. Yep. Watch him. Whee! Which then leads to the Charlotte Hornets mascot, Hugo. And then leads to, well, here's the thing. I'm rating them from a scale of 1 to 10, and whoever wins gets nothing. I don't know, gets nothing. But there he is. Out of all of them, but I'm basing them on their looks, not what I think. So if you're on Spotify, sorry, you're just gonna have to search them up. And if you're wondering why there's not 5, it's because the Charlotte 49ers basketball and the Charlotte 49ers football is the same thing. So don't go, oh my gosh, you only had 4 teams. You forgot about Charlotte 49ers basketball. No, I didn't, okay? And by the way, you see this? Yeah, I'll talk about that in a second. So let's go and spin the wheel. Which one? Why not? I'll have the desktop audio on. I like the clicking. What will it land on first? The Charlotte 49ers mascot. I'm going to hide the choice. I probably shouldn't have done that yet, actually. But if you look at him. Yeah, I'm going to hide it. Whatever. I'm like blind. You know, I'm going to change the game mid-time. I'm going to change it mid-thing. Yeah, I'm going to change it mid-thing. You can tell I'm really excited to record this. I mean, it's been 8 days since I posted on Ethan the Broadcaster or the Buzz&Roar. I skipped last week's Buzz&Roar video because I was busy on doing something that it will be the craziest news you will ever hear. So if you know the news, do not tell anybody, okay? Because I have told a couple people already who are subscribed or followed. If you know what I'm talking about, don't tell anybody, okay? I'm going to announce it probably on the next Buzz&Roar show, most likely. But let's go back to blind ranking mascots. So there's 4 mascots. I'm blind ranking them. If you don't know how blind ranking works, you don't know which one's coming next. So let's say the Charlotte Knights mascot was my favorite, but I didn't know if I was... Or let's say I wanted to put Charlotte Knights at 2. Well, it's not much of a blind rank because I know what the last one is. You know what I mean, though. If I wanted to put the Charlotte Knights at 2, then I would just... I should have just gotten a hat. Like a hat, drew names from it. This is way easier, though. I'm just going to continue. I will put the Charlotte Knights mascot at... Yeah, not 4. I'll put it at 3. 3. Because truth be told, I mean, it's not a bad design. Yes, I'm going off the design. Not like my favorite teams. I'm going off the complete and utter design. Next mascot. Who's the next mascot? So I have 2, 1, and 4 left. Sir Purr. As you can tell, I'm a big Panthers fan. We will talk about the Panthers here in a minute. I've got crazy news that just got announced today, like 2 hours ago. Okay, we will talk about that last segment, so you gotta wait. I know you're going to probably just skip. You don't like me. I'm joking. You love me. Thank you. That's why you're watching. That's why you hit the follow button right then and there. I see you. You hit that follow button, right? If you didn't, I won't give you a cookie. I already ain't giving you a cookie. Anyways, so Sir Purr. See, design-wise, I want to put him at 4, but I should have put the other guy at 2. I probably should have. I know who is 1 already in my mind. I know who I'm putting at 1. I really do. I know who I'm putting at 1. But, who do I put? I already have 3 covered. I'm going to put Sir Purr at 2. I'm putting Sir Purr at 2. So this is actually the last time I'll spin the wheel because I don't need to spin it again after this. So, I just want to hear the music. Who do you think's going to be number 1? Okay, this guy or the weird-looking bug the Hornets have? This guy's awesome. Look at him. Tell me he's not awesome. Look at him. He's obviously the best mascot out of these 4. I mean, if you disagree with me, you don't even have to follow. I just want you to leave. No, please don't leave. But you gotta agree with me here. That's the best looking mascot. I feel like it's still a little high. I'm gonna put Dare. Is that too high? That's a little low. I'm just talking loud, I feel like. And I'm also not used to this, which once again I'll talk about very briefly in a second because I don't want to take all the time on talking about other stuff besides sports. But I want to make this podcast a fun, enjoyable experience for everyone. That sounded cheesy and weird, but I mean, professionally wise, I do want this to be kind of a professional podcast. Share with friends, by the way. I want this podcast to get out there. That was a really shameless plug, like mid blind ranking. Share with friends. Yeah. I forgot my train of thought. Oh yeah. Leave if you disagree, but don't actually leave. This guy is the best. I just made him blue, but this guy is awesome. Okay. Look at him. The Charlotte Knights mascot is baseball mascots in general are awesome, but that guy's cool. Like, have you seen... there's one option left. How am I going to spin the wheel? Oh, I wonder who I'm going to land on. I wanted to hear the music. I'm sorry. So I put him at 4. That's the best list I could have ever had in my life. So, official ranking record. I'm just going to do that so you can see them. This guy is at 1. Actually, I got to say it anyways because Spotify can't hear me or see it. Charlotte Knights mascot, the guy you have to search up if you're listening on Spotify, is at number 1. Hornets is at 4. Carolina Panthers is at, what did I put him? 2. No, I put him at, no, I did put him at 2, but okay, so it's actually not the best ranking. If I could rank these again, but this time I could choose where I want them, I would put Hornets at 4, Sir Purr at 3, then Charlotte Knights at 2, this guy 1. Just because I feel like this guy has a little more effort into him. This guy's just a Panther with a jersey on, you know? Do you see where I'm getting at, though? Like, do you see where I'm getting at? I'm not just, seriously. So, that's it for that game. Now, let me disconnect my webcam, then move it to here. It's a black screen for a second. Give me like 2 milliseconds. Okay, we're back. We're back. We're back. Give me a second. I'm sorry. So that's how the games go if you're new here. Anyways, that was a really long intro. I feel like that was a 12-minute intro. Let's get to the actual... Actually, before we do, I gotta talk about this, okay? Gotta talk about this thing. This thing right here. Okay. So, I've already told you, if you heard a couple weeks ago, these Rode headphones right here. In fact, I'll take them off for you. Yeah, these pretty good Rode headphones. Like, actually, no, they're really, really good Rode headphones. My pastor gave them to me. He had a podcast. Actually, he didn't have a podcast at the time. I think he was just listening to music or something. I don't know. He might be listening to this podcast. That's why he gave them to me, because he knew I had a podcast. So he might be listening to it. If you are, hello, are you ready for what I'm about to say? Probably not, but I'm going to anyways. So, yeah, Pastor, you know what? I'm going to say it. Pastor Chris, he gave me this. It's one of them, like, moving... What is it called? A boom stick or whatever? I don't know. I don't know the actual name. I'm not really good with technology. I just use it. The cord goes... Do you see that? How the cord goes, like, through here? It's so perfect. It's awesome. Yeah, he gave that to me as well. He now has a podcast. Now he does have a podcast. And he actually said this was too much for him. Or something like that. He said he didn't want it anymore. So he gave it to me. And I'm going to be honest, I can't pay him back right now, and I'm probably... Listen, I don't have money. I don't work right yet. I'm too young. However, just as a thank you, I'm going to do this right here. This is the part that I said he's probably not ready for. He probably would love if I did this, actually. Hold on. Just wait a second. So I'm just going to... Let's see if it focuses. It's called Movement Conversations with Chris Hall. I wish it would focus. It's not the best mic ever. I mean, camera. Movement Conversations with Chris Hall. That's his podcast on Spotify. Just Spotify. Episodes drop every Monday, so that means it's coming out tomorrow. Let's... Yeah, so, you're welcome for the shout out. And thank you so much for this right here. It means a lot. It helps a ton. Like, this is the most awesome thing ever. Like, just genuinely. So, please go listen to that. I mean, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life, and it's... My pastor is... This is definitely not bias at all. My pastor is the best pastor in the world, and I wouldn't choose it any other way. Thank you, Pastor Chris. Let's go to sports now. I swear I'm going to sports. I took a while. I swear I'm going to sports. I'm going to sports right now. Thank you for all the equipment, though. Let's start it off with what I start off every single time. By the way, if you're a soccer fan, I'm thinking of doing Charlotte FC soccer. Because if you didn't know, I actually watch Charlotte FC a ton. Yeah, I'm a soccer fan, whatever. Southern soccer fan usually doesn't go well, but I don't know. So yes, I'm a soccer fan, and yes, I will talk about them on this podcast soon. I just need more people to follow. To be honest, I really do. That's kind of what's holding me back from adding more teams. I don't want to talk about more teams till more people follow, because I don't want to use my energy on like 2 people. I'm joking, that's rude. But you see where I'm going, and I don't think any of my viewers are soccer fans just yet. Charlotte 49ers football. If you are a soccer fan, leave a comment below, and I will start talking about soccer. Charlotte 49ers football. I've talked about this in the past. Let's get this podcast underway. Finally, 17 minutes in, I'm getting the podcast underway. These first 2 Charlotte 49ers topics will be really short because there's not much to talk about in the 49ers world. Hence why I got it to like 15 or 20 minutes before actually starting the actual sports talk. See what I did there? Yep, I'm clever. Thank you. Charlotte 49ers football. This will be real short. And I've talked about this in the past, but I'm going to say it again for people who didn't hear it. And I'm going to go in a little more depth. How will Connor Harrell's... This is football, Charlotte 49ers football. How will Connor Harrell's old UNC quarterback who just transferred from UNC to the Charlotte 49ers play style be different than Max Brown's play style? And I've said it in the past. I think the past 2 or 3 episodes... there's only been 3, but I think every episode I've talked about how if the 49ers want to have a good year, they have got to adjust on offense well. And here's why. Connor Harrell's play style is going to be different, okay? It is. It's going to be different. Max Brown, he's more of a passer. You got to admit it, he's more of a I want to take a 90-yard deep shot down the field coach kind of guy. He's more of a set hut throwing kind of guy. You see? He's less of a running quarterback. Now, I've also said this. Max Brown does throw it a ton, and he's way more of a throwing quarterback, but he's also, on top of that, he's still a running QB. He's dual threat, as they say. He's a dual threat quarterback, as they say. He just can do everything. He really can. Respectfully and utterly, he can do everything. Now, how is Connor Harrell's play style different? Connor Harrell, he's got an arm. If he wanted to, he could be the strongest arm in college football right now, and I'm convinced of that. Connor Harrell has got an arm. It is strong, too. But Connor Harrell's playstyle is still going to be different than Max Brown's playstyle. Sorry, I was drinking. Because Connor Harrell, he's more of a triple option kind of guy. If you don't know what that is, which most of you should, but if you don't know what that is, usually it's either a triple option run play or a triple option pass play. And even if it's a triple option pass play, it's still got a run triple option in it. And usually in triple options, it has got, I ain't never done this before on a podcast. If you are watching, then that is the only way that you're going to be able to see this, because I'm about to write on a whiteboard. Actually, I ain't going to write on that big of a whiteboard. I'm going to write on my UNC picture frame whiteboard. North Carolina Tar Heels. Yeah, whatever. I'm a Tar Heels fan talking about the 49ers. Hey, I'm a 49ers fan too now that I started this podcast. So listen. If you can see this, I'm drawing up a play here. Those are the 5 offensive linemen. This is what triple option looks like. There's usually, I'm going to say, X are the receivers. And then the guys in the back are, so receivers on the, I'll also try to describe it as much as I can for the people who can't see, but 5 offensive linemen, typical. Receiver to the left, 1 receiver to the left, and 1 receiver to the right. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Where are the other 4? Well, it's QB in shotgun formation. Then it's running back in shotgun formation right there. Running back. That just looks dumb. Running back to the left of the QB. Running back to the right of the QB. And then running back in pistol formation behind the QB. So it's receiver all the way to the left in spread formation. Receiver all the way to the right in spread formation. 5 O linemen. Then running back. Or it's just in running back formation, or they can run. So it could be like running back, tight end, fullback, or running back, tight end, or tight end, running back, fullback, or fullback, or fullback, tight end. You know what I mean? It could be really any of those. But as long as they are a tight end, fullback, or running back, they are in this one of those 3 spots. Then this is the QB. That right there is the QB. This is 1 running back, this is a second back, and this is a third back. Then once again, it's receiver, bang. That's kind of the type of plays Connor Harrell likes. And then Max Brown, he likes the shotgun spread or pistol spread type of plays. Like the passing plays. So it'd be, I'm going to try and draw this a little small. In fact, I'm going to do this. He likes the 5 O linemen, once again. So 5 O linemen. Then it's QB about halfway up. So not right under the center, but right there. Then I'm just going to draw up a pistol spread. So if it's a pistol, I'm actually teaching y'all today. If it's a pistol, then the running back is behind the quarterback. If it's a shotgun, then the running back is to the right or to the left of the QB. I'm just going to do a pistol. Pistol spread. This is what pistol spread looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, that's 7. Then 4 receivers, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. But way farther than that. So, all the way near the sidelines to the left and to the right. Then if it's a pistol bunch, and this is also kind of what Connor Harrell likes, pistol bunch formations, because this includes option plays and running plays, it'd be receiver. You see how it's bunched up? So Connor Harrell, he likes he likes, once again, the triple option plays or the less of a... He doesn't like the pass plays as much. He likes the, this guy, like, let's say triple option, he likes, my right side running back won't go far. My left side running back won't go far. Will the running back behind me go far? No. Oh, well then let's throw the ball away. Or if it's a triple option pass play, then it'll even be, the left guy won't go far. The right guy won't go far. The guy behind me won't go far. Then the last resort is the receivers run a slant or a short route. That's where they're going. So it's bang, bang, bang. Then, wait, where's the receivers? Should I take off and get under the O lineman? Not literally under it, but you know what I mean. Break the lineman. And then don't pass, just run myself. Or stay in the pocket, throw the ball to those receivers. So that's kind of what Connor Harrell likes. Max Brown just likes, set hut, throw. Set hut, run. Set hut, throw. He doesn't like to think about it as much, if that makes sense. Anyways, I feel great about that. In like a analogy kind of way. Not an analogy, that's not the right term to use. I just feel like that was the most... Okay. If you've ever listened to... Hold on. I was trying to put that thing back. Okay. If you've ever listened to like any other sports podcast or any other sports radio station, they do that a lot sometimes. So, yeah. I just got more breaking news for the Panthers. Sorry, my friend, we talk about the Panthers all the time. We're a big Panthers fan. My friend secretly is actually the one who was on call the other day with me. So you're going to have to wait for even more breaking news. Great. So, that's all I have for the Charlotte 49ers football team. Let's go to the Charlotte 49ers basketball team.
Now that we've set the stage for the 49ers on the gridiron, let's switch gears and hit the hardwood with the Charlotte 49ers men's basketball team. What's brewing in their camp for the upcoming season?
Indeed, what is brewing in their camp for the upcoming season? I love how I made those. You know what's funny? My pastor, if you remember me talking about this at 10 minutes ago in this podcast, he has a podcast himself about church and stuff. I don't exactly know how to say it, but what was I about to say? It was funny. Daggone it. It was funny. Oh yeah. He asked me to make one of them for him. I think he's going to send, if he remembers, he's going to send me some words. Seriously, guys, though, go check that out. This is also, once again, like I said a minute ago, also an extremely short segment. Because this is way shorter. I said the other one was short. This one's way shorter. Let me confirm that Panthers breaking news before I even do anything. But, will the Charlotte 49ers basketball team go above .500 or below? Now, here's the thing, right? So sorry, I was doing something else again. Okay, I'm back. This is going to be a really long episode. Y'all are probably happy with me. Charlotte 49ers basketball. This is also really extremely short. Aaron Fern. So the question is, will they go above or below 500? Aaron Fern, he went 11-22 last season. He went 11-22. Let me get that. He went 11-22. And here's the thing. He is going to want to do way better this year. Now, like I kind of just now did with the 49ers football team, I'm going to do the exact same thing and use kind of an analogy I used in the past and say, okay, so do you guys remember when Coach, if you're a North Carolina sports fan in general, then you guys remember, two of the considered basically best coaches. Ooh, this is cool because I can just bring it up here if I'm leaning back. Two of the considered best coaches. I'm going to have to figure it out and ain't leaning forward. Keeps moving back. Sorry, I'm getting so off topic. I'll just do that. No, I'm just going to put it back. Oh, perfect. I was moving my mic for people who didn't see on Spotify. If you remember the Coach Krzyzewski and Roy Williams era, they both retired. John Shire and Hubert Davis took over as head coach. They were both assistant coaches for the team. Well, here's the question. Okay, here's the main question. Well, there actually is no question. I don't know why I said question. Here's the thing. When they retired, Hubert Davis went to the Final Four. But when both of them retired, and John Shire actually didn't do so well. I mean, he didn't do bad. Neither Duke or UNC has never really been terrible. They have been, the lowest they've been is mediocre. In the past, I would say in my years of living, my 14 years. But the question is just, because we know I'm trying to think how to say this. Okay, so Roy Williams, Coach Krzyzewski retires. They retired right before the season began. So they had recruited everybody. They had coached everybody. Then just said, I'm dipping. I'm out of here. Hubert, you coach for me. Or for Krzyzewski's tenure, John Shire, you coach for me. So it was basically still, those 2 years were basically, because those two big-time coaches still were kind of recruiting themselves, it was still technically their teams. Okay, they weren't coaching, but if you think about it in the recruiting's perspectives, it was still Roy Williams' team and it was still John Shire's team. Well, Hubert Davis with Roy Williams' team, quote-unquote, went to the Final Four. Then the next year, he didn't do as well. He didn't do bad. I think he went to the Elite Eight. Oh, yeah, because we lost to Alabama. I was so mad. Yeah, I'm a Carolina Tar Heels fan. But this is why I'm bringing this up. The 49ers basketball team, Aaron Fern, first year went 22-11. Think about that. Second year went 11-22. His first year was not his team. It was the past coach's team who had just gotten fired or left. Okay? It was not Aaron Fern's team. It was the past coach's team who just had gotten fired or left. Aaron Fern came in, coached the last coach's team, and brought them to a 22-11 record. A 22-11 record. So flip the two numbers from last year. Last year was 11-22. The year before that was 22-11. Aaron Fern's second year, according to the Coach K and Roy Williams analogy, it was Aaron Fern's first ever year with his own team. Like, his own team. Like, it was like, I recruited all these guys. I got all these guys. I signed all these guys. I gave these guys the NIL money. I helped these guys. I trained these guys. First year, it was, I coached these guys. Second year, it was, I trained these guys. I recruited these guys. I got these guys. I gave them, once again, NIL money. I did all this to these guys. Third year, he's going to say that same thing. I trained these guys. I recruited these guys. I did all this to those guys. But is, how do I say this? Is it going to be his I recruited those guys, I trained those guys moment this year where everyone looks at him and goes, okay, you may be actually pretty good. Can you get us a win? Can you bring us to the championship? Okay, so... Oh, my mic fell. I'm just going to lean up. I'm just going to do this again. I'm just going to do this again. Because this is way easier. I'll just lean up. Whatever, I'll have to lean up. But is this his, I trained these guys, I recruited these guys, I did all this to these guys, year where he can say, oh, I went 22-11 myself. It wasn't the last coaches. It wasn't my assistant coaches. It wasn't my training staff. It wasn't anybody with anything else in their hands except for an iPad, a marker, and the knowledge to get a signing of a head coach deal. Was it his moment? Like, was this his time? Was this his... Is this year going to be his I did all this, I did all that moment? All right. Is it going to be? And once again, the question is he going above 500, below 500? Well, I can't really tell you because the schedule ain't out. The schedule ain't out yet. But what I can tell you is if it's his I trained these guys, I recruited these guys moment where he actually does well instead of goes 11-22, then yeah, he's going above 500. But if this year is another 11-22 season where he trained these guys, he recruited these guys, he trained these guys, he went to practice with these guys, he went out to eat dinner with those guys last week at Applebee's, I don't know. Because if it's not, then he's going below 500 again. Because this is another one of those years. This is another one of those I trained these guys, I recruited these guys moments. But is this another one of them I trained these guys, I recruited these guys moments where he goes below 500? That's the main question here. Because if Aaron Fern goes 11-22 again, I don't see him being the 49ers basketball head coach again. In a respectful way, I just don't. I don't see him being the 49ers head coach again. And now we'll move to our next topic. Do you want to know what's funny? I said it'd be another short segment. Both of my short segments have took me 10 minutes at the max. That's hilarious. Anyways, back at next segment. Let's move on to the Charlotte baseball.
Speaking of Charlotte basketball, it's time to step outside the gym and onto the diamond with the Charlotte Knights. These AAA baseball guys are bringing some fresh energy to town. Let's break down what's going on with our hometown team.
The The Charlotte Knights. The Charlotte Knights. The Charlotte Knights. I've got their schedule pulled up right here. Okay. This might be the shorter segment, truth be told, but I don't want to say that because the last time I said that, that wasn't the case. Okay, so their record right now is... Hold on, let's try and find it. Charlotte Knights... Oh, this doesn't say. That's dumb. It really doesn't say. That's weird. Let's just go to the box score. See if it... 55-63. They are 55-63. Okay. So Charlotte Knights, they are 55-63. Going into tonight's game, which by the time I upload this Buzz and Roar show, it might be somewhat done because it's at 5:05 p.m. It is 4:37 p.m. at the moment. The Memphis... Let's see. Memphis... I don't know what Memphis's last name is. The Redbirds, I think. Yeah, the Redbirds. The Redbirds. So the Memphis Redbirds. We play the Memphis Redbirds tonight. This series so far started on the 12th. We played the 12th, the 13th, the 14th, the 15th, the 16th, and today is the 17th. We won, we lost, we lost, we lost, we lost. And all of them have been at home. So first game we won, then lose, 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 lose. Will we win tonight? I'll tell you the scores. So we won 13-6, lost 5-14, lost 4-5, lost 5-7, lost 6-9. Will we win tonight? I think, personally, this is a crazy take, but I think yes. I do. I think, yeah, this is going to be a shorter segment because I'm almost done. I think yes. I think tonight is the night to get our confidence back on the roll. I think the Knights, if they don't get their team back on track winning, then when does the baseball season end? Or when does the playoffs start? Last playoff game is... Or not last playoff game, we ain't in the playoffs. Last game of the year is September 20th. That is a month away. They need to lock in. The last game is against the Durham Bulls, and it is a durable... Wow, that is a crazy night. A doubleheader. First game... Last game of the season is on the 20th of September, and it is a doubleheader. Starts at 12:35 p.m., then the next game starts at 5:35 p.m., all at home. But what I'm getting at is, will we win tonight? Well, once again, confidence. We need the confidence back on track. Because if we win out the season, we're making the playoffs. Like, I mean, there's no doubt. There's like probably 20 more games left. Hold on, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12... 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. So there's actually 31 games left. So yeah, if we win out the season, easy. But we're not winning out the season. Let's be real here. We're not winning out the season. But if we win 15 of those, we also probably aren't going to make the playoffs. I just thought of that. If we win 20 of those, that's where we would possibly be in contention. Actually, we would need to win 21 to be at a .500 record. So we're at a interesting situation. We really are. We're in an interesting situation. A really, really interesting situation. But if we can win tonight, take a rest tomorrow, then get back on the road to play Norfolk in another 6-game series on the 19th through the 24th, then that would definitely help. So I don't want to see another loss. I mean, I don't. Because if another loss happens, I don't think, sadly, we are making the playoffs. I mean, the wins have to start tonight for us to get back on track. And that is just completely honest. So we need confidence, and we need to win tonight. Do I think we'll win tonight? That depends on our star pitchers, star batters. I mean, I think our pitchers are good enough to beat them. They just haven't been good enough so far. However, this actually was shorter than the other topics that I called short. Let's go to the next segment. 46 minutes in. How fun is this? I'm getting kind of sad because I have to stop.
Sticking with Charlotte sports, let's jump over to the Hornets and see what's going on with them in the NBA world.
That's probably my favorite song out of all of them. I'm sorry. Like, if I had to choose between one of the 4 songs I've got, actually, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 songs, because I've got a Stream Deck down here that I just click it. It's so easy. See, I never thought I'd use my Stream Deck. I asked for it for a reason, because a little secret about me is I actually had a YouTube channel a while ago where I did normal YouTube stuff instead of sports stuff. But I kind of just decided I'm going to start fresh. I didn't want to, like, transfer, because I had, 500 subs. That's not bad. Anyways, that's so off topic. The Charlotte Hornets. So, there's actually not too terribly much to talk about this either. But the schedule has just gotten released. Okay. The schedule has just gotten released for the NBA. Charlotte Hornets schedule. Yeah. Charlotte Hornets schedule, everyone else's schedule has been released. Question is, what record do I think we're going? Now, I was thinking of actually predicting all 82 games and then going and then telling you, like, off camera, and then, because 82 games on camera would be wild, and then telling you guys, like, what it was and why I think this. However, I'm doing something a little different. I'm just going to tell y'all, based on my hypothesis, what I think we're going to go. Why did I not predict it off camera is because, truth be told, I didn't think there was that much of a reason to. And also, it's real hard to do a full schedule prediction of the NBA because there's 80, or NHL, compared to the NFL, because there's 82 games. Think about that. 82 games, and you gotta think about injuries, especially with the Hornets. LaMelo Ball, I'm kidding. That was a joke. Ha 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 ha. Funny. But question is, do I see improvements this year? Let's just jump right into it. Do I see improvements this year for this year's Hornets team? Yes, easily. No doubt. I see tons of improvements for this year's Hornets team. Now, there's 2 other questions that I wrote down for me to answer. Now, why? I'm going to actually answer this question a little more in depth. I wasn't really going to, but I am going to. I see improvements. What improvements do I see? I see depth improvements. I mean, the acquisition of Mason Plumlee. We have Colin Sexton. Well, I still think we absolutely fleeced the mess out of them. Stephen A. Smith said we fleeced them. We got Con Knipple, Luke Cockbrenner, Sion James. We got all these guys from the draft, too. I mean, there's a ton of names. Tons of names. But the question is just, do I think there's going to be improvements? Once again, yes. 1,000%. I see tons of improvements with depth. Depth. That's hard to say. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's hard to say 5 times. Yes, I just counted how many times I said that. That's hard to say 5 times. Say that 5 times fast. See if you tongue twist or whatever it's called. But the Hornets are going to have improvements. Now, the question is, what could be a approximate? These are 2 other questions. I'm just going to answer them quickly and then go to all the breaking news for the Panthers. What could be an approximate record, and are they playing contenders? My approximate record is, well, let's think about it here. I think the past couple seasons have been terrible. I mean, that's obvious. But I think it's going to be way better of a year. And I think that way better of a year is going to be, in my opinion, I think it's officially going to be like, I don't know exactly, but I think I'm going to say like, I'm going to say 41-41. 0.500 record on the dot. 0.500 record on the dot is not bad. Now, that is a pretty big improvement, but can that happen? Totally. I mean, people are saying we have the best draft in the league. People are saying we had the best summer league performance in the league, which we did. I mean, we won the summer league title. People are saying that we had we fleeced the mess out of Colin Sexton trade. And so, I mean, this is going to be a crazy upgrade. And I think that it is going to be a fun couple weeks when it does start. When the season starts. To see the Charlotte Hornets. Now, I would love to go to a game. Because, truth be told, that'd just be fun. That'd just be fun. But, I mean, this franchise needs to turn it around quick. And I mean quick. Like, quick. If we don't turn it around quick, there's no telling how possibly long it could take before we do. Because this is a good season to be, my third question, play-in contenders. Now, if you don't exactly watch the NBA, maybe you're an NHL fan and you don't have a play-in tournament. The play-in tournament is like, you know how there's 7 seeds? Well, the 8th seed is, basically the 8th seed is determined by like a short bracket with 9 and 10 seed. So they do, I think it's a best 2 out of 3 series, and that's called the play-in tournament on the East and the West. And I think the Hornets could easily make the East play-in tournament because I think they got the ability, they got the talent. How far do I think they're going to go? I don't think they're going to get that far, but if we make the play-in, that is massive upgrade. And if we make the play-in, if we go 0.500, we could go a little less than 0.500 and still make the play-in. I'm pretty sure the Heat went like 0.489 or something the other year. And they still, guess what? They still made the play-in. So the Hornets could go a little less. But we just need to make sure that we don't think about it too hard and just kind of be confident in our team. Because I do think if we think about it hard enough, they should be playing contenders this year. They very should well be. That was a weird sentence. They very should well be. I'm British. If you're British, sorry. Don't take offense to that. But, I mean, they could very well be playing contenders, and I think they could. I think they are. You know, I'm saying it right now. Write this down. They're gonna be playing contenders. Charlotte Hornets play-in contenders 2025 to 2026. Write that down. Write that down, Jimmy. I don't know who Jimmy is, but write it down. If you're a Jimmy out there, write that down. Anyways, next segment. Next segment. We're moving on to the last segment with tons of news. I am excited to talk about this. Tons of news. Tons of news. This is very well going to be an hour-long episode, and I'm happy about it. Tons of news for the Panthers. Let's go.
And to wrap it all up, we'll trade the hardwood for the turf and check in on the Carolina Panthers, because there's always something to talk about in the NFL.
The Carolina Panthers, there's tons of breaking news. And, I'm going to make you wait a little longer. I'm going to review the Texans and Browns games real quick. Like, real quick. But I'm not going to, fully review it. So, we know Bryce Young, he had a pretty good drive on the second drive of the Browns game. After that, no score. Okay. Texans game, he didn't even get a first down, I'm pretty sure. And then Andy Dalton got injured. And this news in a minute actually has something to do with Andy Dalton getting injured. I feel like just looking at it, Browns game was a lot better than the Texans game. Texans game was horrible. But Dave Canales said this. He said basically, actually I have a quote from him. I'm going to see if I can't find it. Yeah, I see it right now. So, he said, quote, Dave Canales still upbeat, but frustrated after a day of, quote, almosts. So he said, frustrated after a day of almosts. And he also said, by the way, playing them in the third preseason game makes no sense because they can't, quote-unquote, execute the basics. Playing the next week in the final preseason game. Now, here's the thing. He said this, on top of him being frustrated, he said this. He said, I am still proud because our team executed well. And he basically said, we still got the reps out there, and that's all that matters. So he's basically saying what I've thought about the preseason this whole time, which is the preseason is just for reps. Like, we want you to score. We want to win. We like the W's on the sheet. But if you don't score and you don't win, you got out there and played your booty off. That's all that matters. That is all that matters. So what does it matter if you go out there and don't play your booty off, then Dave is going to be more mad and you're possibly going to get cut. But considering all the starters played their booty off that game, he's still mad because they lost and they couldn't win a preseason game, but he's not like angry, like, I'm cutting everybody on the team who didn't do good. Yeah. You know, like, he's not like mad in that sense. He's just mad in a sense of, like, the preseason is for reps and you couldn't execute the reps that I asked you to do. Now, you know what he also said? He said this. He said, the reason why I'm a little frustrated, this is what kind of got me. He said, you saw in the Texans game, it almost felt like when the heat started blaring, when the sun started blaring on the stadium, because it was way hotter in Houston than it was in Charlotte. And he basically was saying, like, you saw when they got... He said, oh, and I'm just going to read you the quote. Quote Dave Canales. It's a long quote. I'm just going to tell you this. Fatigue, lack of focus. That's something we have to learn to do better. We have to be able to fight through fatigue, fight through exhaustion. It's going to be hot. We're going to Jacksonville in week 1. It's going to feel like this. Can we maintain that level of focus play after play, regardless of what the last play did? Can you breathe on your way back, and then can you execute? And I saw the penalties piled up when we were tired. That's something we have to get better at. So, like, last game and the Browns game, he was basically seeing, oh, you're hot, you're tired. No, this is the NFL. Don't get tired. Like, this is the NFL. If you want to be in the NFL, you can't get tired. You can't do penalties because you're tired. Like, oh, I'm tired. I just need a breather. Let me hold this guy. You see what I mean? He's not mad in the first thing I talked about, but he's mad in the second thing I talked about. Anyways. Let's get... Oh, this is an hour-long episode. Longest podcast episode ever. And it's still going. It's probably going to go for like an hour and 10 to 15 minutes. So, first off, I'm going to talk about the less interesting breaking news, but still breaking news. I'm just going to hold it. Bryce Young... Why did I say Bryce Young? You'll see why I said Bryce Young in a second. So, I don't know if you remember this guy, but his name is Bryce Perkins. If you are a UFL fan, I am a UFL fan. If a UFL team ever comes to North Carolina, I don't care if it's in Raleigh, it's coming on the Buzz&Roar show. UFL MVP from 2025, Bryce Perkins from the Michigan Panthers has now, because Andy Dalton got injured, has now signed with the Carolina Panthers. So Bryce Perkins, in replace of Andy Dalton, has signed with the Panthers and is expected, not going to, but is expected to play week 3 of the preseason. So it'll be Jack Plummer and Bryce Perkins out there. Now, personally, once again, this isn't much of a news, but personally, Bryce Perkins is going to be great in the NFL, and I'm glad we're giving him those reps because I personally think he could be a great QB. Now, I do think we're not going to keep him that long, and I do still think that we're probably going to choose Jack Plummer, Andy Dalton, and Bryce Young. And I also think that there's a chance Bryce Perkins just plays the year on the practice squad with us, trains as hard as he can, then goes back to the United Football League next year. However, I mean, him getting that reps, that's good. And I mean, once again, this is the less interesting news, but it's still news, and Bryce Perkins is a Carolina Panther. And I'm personally excited to see him next week. And, I mean, yeah, I'm real excited to see him next week. This is the crazy news. See, if you don't remember, we got rid of Jadeveon Clowney. Our plan was to get Josie Jewell to be our starting edge rusher. Or linebacker. Let's just say linebacker. Edge rusher, linebacker, whatever. So the Panthers crazy news. Let's put it this way. Panthers crazy news. Pro Bowl athlete Trey Hendrickson, Bengals guy who has not re-signed a contract with the Bengals just yet, but is looking to. Well, now he's not going to because the Bengals just put him on the trade block. Now, what does this have to do with the Panthers? Well, this is the crazy news that I found. The top team in contention for him at the moment, top team, like number one team interested in him, is your Carolina Panthers. Now, if you don't know who Trey Hendrickson is, he is, okay, we have Micah Parsons, but people consider him to be the best linebacker in the league. Now, people also consider him to be the second best because of Micah Parsons, but, I mean, you can really consider him both. I mean, he is crazy good. Now, my question is, who would we give up? Because, yeah, we could probably give up, like, a small receiver. Okay, not a small receiver in, like, small body fat-wise or short-wise, but, like, less of a, let's put it this way. I'm going to just kind of restart. If we, like, how horrible would it be if here are three, I am stuttering a ton right now. It's just weird to talk about, but once again, breaking news, Trey Hendrickson on the trade block. Panthers are the number one contending team for him at the moment. So, how would we get him? Well, I wrote down a couple trade offer scenarios that we could do. Bengals receive a next season second round pick and Jalen Coker. Now, you may be wondering, oh, why Jalen Coker? I don't want Jalen Coker to leave. He is so good. Let me put it this way. If we got Carolina Panthers depth chart unofficial. I'm trying to search that up because they just released an unofficial thing. Here's the thing. An unofficial depth chart has been released by the Panthers. And Jalen Coker is the fifth receiver on the lineup. And guess who we have ahead of him? Because we've got tons of young guys. We've got Xavier Legette, Tedero McMillan, and Adam Thielen on the first string. Jalen Coker, David Moore, and Hunter Renfrow on the second string. And then Jimmy Horn Jr., Bryson Tremaine, and Jacoby George on the third string. Now let's cut Bryson Tremaine and Jacoby George off. Now we still got two more strings. We still got Jasim Reed and Kobe Hudson on the fourth string, and then TJ Luther on the fifth string. What if, get rid of Jalen Coker, now move our draft pick up, Jimmy Horn Jr., move Jimmy Horn Jr. up to the second string. Hear me out here. Move Jimmy Horn Jr. up. Then our lineup would look like Xavier Legette, Tedero McMillan, Adam Thielen, David Moore, Hunter Renfrow, and Jimmy Horn Jr. I don't think that looks that bad considering that we're getting Trey Hendrickson already having Derek Brown, J.C. Horn strapped up. You know what I mean? Like, we have already got Derek Brown and J.C. Horn. Getting Trey Hendrickson would help so good. And so I don't think that would be the worst idea. Now, what's the other idea? What is the other idea that I wrote down? And this is the other idea that personally I don't want to happen. This is why I think this, and if you are disagreeing with me with the Jalen Coker thing at the moment, this right here, what I'm about to say, is why on the spot I think Jalen Coker is probably a trade candidate. I'm not saying he's getting traded, but he is a trade candidate possibly for this Trey Hendrickson deal. Because he's a great receiver, and the other one I wrote down was a 4th-round pick and Derek Brown. We don't want to get rid of Derek Brown. Or J.C. Horn, for that matter. J.C. Horn is the other one. It's a 3rd-round pick. It's a 3rd-round pick and J.C. Horn. That was my offer 3. So I wrote down those 3 offers. Now, you know for a fact that we don't want to get rid of Jalen Coker. But before you think about it, before you say anything, tell me, would you personally rather get rid of Jalen Coker or all-pro defensive lineman, defensive player of the year candidate, Pro Bowler, lead tackle leader of 23-24 season, Carolina Panthers superstar Derek Brown? Or even better, J.C. Horn, who is also a Pro Bowler, an all-pro candidate, a possible, I think in some of his years has been a possible defensive player of the year candidate. Would you rather get rid of a receiver who is a 2nd-string receiver and we have a replacement for him, or one of those 2 insane defensive players? Because if we got Trey Hendrickson, Darren Brown, and J.C. Horn, wild. Now, the only other scenario is this. Trey Hendrickson wants the money, then we would have to get rid of one of those 2 superstars. We would have to get rid of either Derek Brown or J.C. Horn. Now, in that situation, I think, personally, I would probably still get rid of J.C. Horn, but that's just my opinion. So, breaking news, Trey Hendrickson is there. I will keep you guys updated on my YouTube channel with the news about Trey Hendrickson. And I will also keep you guys updated with Bryce Perkins if he signs. He's already signed, but if he is playing week 3. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching on the Buzz and Roar Show, an hour and 13-minute episode. If you want more sports stuff from Charlotte to anywhere else that throws a ball, check out. I'm going to stop my... I'm going to stop my outro sequence just real quick, real fast. I'm sorry, I got to talk about the Panthers again. I just got a notification from Bleacher Report. Not sponsored at all. I don't want to get copyrighted. NFL Insider says Bengals possible trade return for Trey Hendrickson hurt by waiting. What he means by that is... I'm reading it right now. What he means by that is it could very well, and a leader of the Bengals also said this. He said, because we waited this long, we might have to take a little less for Hendrickson. So now I'm thinking, well, the Panthers just get rid of, once again, hold on, I'm smart. I'm predicting it right now. If the Panthers get him, it's going to be Jalen Coker and actually, what was it? It was Jalen Coker and I said a 1st-round pick? No, a 2nd-round pick. I'm moving it down to a 4th-round pick. Jalen Coker and a 4th-round pick or a 3rd-round pick. Nah, Jalen Coker and a 2nd-round pick. I'm predicting it right now. It's Jalen Coker and a 2nd-round pick. Right here, right now. Bengals, give us that trade. Give us that trade. We need that. Anyways, once again, I'll keep y'all updated for it. But I literally just now got that. That is hilarious how I just now got that. Yeah. I'll keep you all updated on my YouTube channel, that is capital E, Ethan, capital T, the, and capital B broadcaster. Thanks for hanging out on the Buzz and Roar Show. If you want more sports stuff from Charlotte to anywhere else that throws a ball, check out my YouTube channel. I'll say it again. Capital E, Ethan, capital T, the, and capital B broadcaster. And hey, if you're already watching this on YouTube, welcome. You're in the right place. If you're listening somewhere else like Spotify, go and hit subscribe on YouTube too. It's like the same thing, but with more visuals and less background noise. I mean, less ads, you know. You don't want them ads. Hit subscribe so you don't miss out. Or don't. I'm not your boss. Oh my gosh. I'm kind of sad, but also not sad because I've been talking for an hour and 15 minutes straight. And that is it. Outro sequence, here we come. See you next time on the Buzz and Roar Show.
Thanks for listening to Buzz and Roar. We talk about sports, all kinds of sports. If you like the show, hit subscribe or follow. We'll be back soon with more stuff to share. Thanks again, and see you next time.